Welcome back to another empowering episode of Journey to Success. I'm Emily Carter, your host, and today we're tackling a topic that touches so many lives: overcoming financial hardship. Joining us is an extraordinary guest, Dr. Lauren Mitchell, a financial psychologist, best-selling author, and resilience coach who's helped thousands navigate money struggles to build lives of security and purpose. Lauren, it's an absolute honor to have you with us today.
Thank you, Emily. I'm truly delighted to be here and dive into a subject that's not just about dollars and cents but about reclaiming your power, rewriting your story, and finding freedom even in the toughest financial times.
I'm so excited to hear your insights. Financial hardship can feel overwhelming, like a weight that's hard to lift. Lauren, let's start with the big picture. Why is overcoming financial hardship so essential for personal growth and success, and how does it shape our journey?
That's a profound question, Emily, and it really gets to the heart of why navigating financial hardship matters so deeply. Financial struggles, whether it's debt, job loss, or living paycheck to paycheck, can feel like a storm that clouds every part of your life, from your confidence to your dreams. Overcoming them is essential because it's not just about balancing a budget. It's about building resilience, self-worth, and the clarity to pursue what truly matters. When you face money challenges head-on, you learn to trust your resourcefulness, make intentional choices, and redefine success on your own terms. This process fuels personal growth by teaching you adaptability and courage, paving the way for a life where you're not controlled by fear, but empowered by possibility. Without tackling financial hardship, stress can trap you, dimming your potential. With it, you unlock a sense of agency that transforms not just your bank account but your entire outlook, setting the stage for lasting fulfillment. I think of Oprah Winfrey, who said, "You get in life what you have the courage to ask for." She rose from poverty, wearing potato sack dresses as a child, to build a media empire, not by luck but by facing financial limits with grit and vision. Her story shows how overcoming hardship fuels success beyond money. Early in my own journey, I was a grad student in Chicago, drowning in student loans and working 3 jobs. I felt ashamed, like I'd failed before I started, and my dreams of helping others seemed out of reach. But when I began addressing my finances, learning to budget, seeking advice, and reframing my mindset, everything shifted. I paid off my loans, launched a coaching practice, and wrote books that now guide thousands. Overcoming financial hardship isn't about erasing struggle. It's about using it as a crucible to forge a stronger, wiser you, capable of creating a life aligned with your deepest values.
That's such an inspiring way to frame it, Lauren. Hardship as a crucible for empowerment. Oprah's journey is so powerful. You mentioned your own struggle with loans. Can you walk us through how someone can start overcoming financial hardship, especially if they feel buried under stress or shame?
Absolutely, Emily. The first step is to face your financial reality with honesty. Shame thrives in silence, so take a deep breath and look at the numbers. Your income, debts, expenses, without judgment. This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about clarity, like turning on a light in a dark room. One tool is a money snapshot. Write down what you earn, owe, and spend in one place just to see the truth. I draw inspiration from Nelson Mandela, who said, "The truth is a powerful weapon." His honesty about injustice sparked a movement, and facing financial truth sparks change. When I was buried in loans, I avoided bank statements, terrified of the totals. I felt like a failure. Mandela's courage pushed me. I sat down, listed $60,000 in debt, $2,000 monthly income, and my expenses. Seeing it wasn't easy, but it broke the shame. I wasn't bad. I was learning. I cut small costs like coffee runs and paid extra on loans. Within years, I was debt-free, my coaching thrived, and I bought a home. I coached a client named Sarah, a barista with $20,000 in credit card debt, paralyzed by embarrassment. She thought she'd never climb out. Inspired by Mandela, she created her snapshot: debt, $1,800 income, tight expenses. It empowered her. She negotiated rates, saved $50 monthly, and now manages a cafe, debt nearly gone. Honesty isn't punishment. It's the first step to financial freedom, lifting the weight of shame. Another crucial step is to build a simple plan and start small. You don't need to fix everything at once. Just pick one actionable goal. like saving $10 a week or paying $25 extra on a bill. Break it into tiny steps to make it feel doable, and track progress to stay motivated. I learned this from J.K. Rowling, who said, "It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." She wrote Harry Potter while broke, choosing small steps to success. I used to feel overwhelmed, thinking I needed thousands to dent my loans. Rowling's choices inspired me. I saved $5 weekly, then $20. It grew to thousands, funding my practice. Sarah started small, $2.10 weekly to debt tracked on a chart. It snowballed. She's halved her balance, beaming with pride. A simple plan doesn't demand perfection. It builds momentum, turning hardship into opportunity one step at a time.
Those are such practical and uplifting steps, Lauren. Facing truth and starting small. Mandela and Rowling make it so approachable. But what about when setbacks, like unexpected bills or job loss, derail your progress? How do you stay resilient and keep moving forward?
Oh, Emily, financial setbacks are like sudden storms. They hit hard, threatening to wash away your hope and momentum. The key is to reframe setbacks as temporary. They're not proof you've failed. They're challenges to navigate, like detours on a long road. One tool is a resilience reset. Pause, write down the setback, list one thing you can control, like cutting a cost or asking for help, and act on it. This keeps you moving forward. I draw from Viktor Frankl, who said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." His resilience in camps fueled man's search for meaning. When I lost a freelance gig, my loan payment stalled. I panicked, thinking I'd never recover. Frankel's wisdom helped. I reset, wrote lost $500 monthly. I can cut subscriptions. I canceled streaming, saved $30, and pitched new clients. I rebuilt my practice, soared. I coached a client named Michael, a mechanic hit by medical bills, $5,000 deep. He felt doomed, progress gone. Inspired by Frankl, he reset. Bills hit, I can sell tools. He sold $200 worth, negotiated payments, and now owns a shop, thriving. Reframing setbacks as temporary keeps despair at bay, fueling resilience. Another strategy is leaning on resources. No one overcomes hardship alone. Seek free advice like financial counselors or negotiate bills. I learned this from Michelle Obama, who said, "You don't have to do it all by yourself." Her community lifted her from modest roots to global impact. I used to isolate, ashamed to ask for help, but Obama's openness led me to a debt advisor. I cut interest rates, freeing funds for savings, and my books hit shelves. Michael sought a counselor, learned budgeting, cleared bills, and mentors others. Resources and reframing don't erase setbacks. They guide you through, strengthening your financial resolve.
That's so empowering, Lauren. Reframing setbacks and seeking help. Frankl and Obama bring it to life. You've mentioned incredible figures like Oprah and Rowling. Are there other famous people whose financial resilience inspires you?
Oh, absolutely, Emily. Financial resilience radiates from so many lives. Take Damon John, who said, "Money is a tool, not a master." He started FUBU with $40, sewing hats in his mom's basement, and faced loan rejections but built a $6 billion brand through persistence. When my practice dipped, clients left, I leaned on John. I cut overhead, pitched talks, and doubled my reach. I coached a client named Olivia, a baker whose shop tanked in debt. John's grit led her to barter ingredients. She's now profitable, catering events. Another is Maya Angelou, who said, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." She survived poverty, funding her art through odd jobs, becoming a literary icon. When a book deal fell through, Angelou's resolve inspired me. I freelanced, rebuilt savings, and my seminars grew. Olivia, inspired by Angelou, worked nights. She expanded her bakery, winning awards. Then there's Robert Kiyosaki, who says, "It's not how much money you make, but how much you keep." Bankrupt early, he learned financial literacy writing Rich Dad Poor Dad. I coached a client named Ethan, a coder with no savings, feeling broke. Kiyosaki's lessons led him to budget. He saved $10,000, launched a startup. These icons, John's hustle, Angelou's heart, Kiyosaki's literacy, show financial hardship as a chapter, not the story, building lives of purpose.
Those stories are so uplifting, Lauren. John, Angelou, Kiyosaki, they show resilience's power. What about when fear of failure, like making a wrong financial move, paralyzes you? How do you overcome that?
Fear of failure is a heavy chain, Emily. It makes every choice feel like a trap, freezing you in place. The key is to redefine failure as learning. A wrong move isn't the end, it's feedback to adjust. One tool is a risk reflection. Before deciding, write the worst case scenario in one way to recover. It shrinks fear's grip. I draw from Sarah Blakely, who said, "Failure for me became not trying." She turned $5,000 into Spanx's billions by embracing risks. When I hesitated to invest in my practice, fearing loss, Blakely's mindset helped. I reflected, lose $2,000. I'll earn it back. I invested, my coaching tripled. I coached a client named Rachel, a teacher scared to negotiate pay, fearing rejection. Blakely's courage led her to reflect. She negotiated, got a raise, and saves now. Another strategy is building a knowledge buffer. Fear thrives in uncertainty, so learn one financial skill: budgeting, investing, to feel capable. I learned from Warren Buffett, who says, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. His study built billions. I used to fear markets, avoiding savings. Buffett's learning pushed me to read one finance book. I invested $100, grew it, and my security soared. Rachel learned budgeting, her fear eased, she's debt-free. Knowledge and redefining failure turn fear into fuel, pushing you past paralysis.
That's so liberating, Lauren. Learning and redefining failure. Blakely and Buffett make it clear. How do we sustain financial resilience long-term, especially when old habits or societal pressures tempt us back?
Sustaining financial resilience is like tending a garden. It thrives with care, even through seasons of temptation. One habit is regular money check-ins. Monthly, review your snapshot, earnings, spending to stay aligned. I learned from Susie Orman, who says, you can't fix what you don't see. Her clarity empowers millions. I check budgets monthly, it keeps me grounded, my practice grows. I coached a client named Anna, a nurse relapsing to overspending. Orman's habit led her to review. She saved $5,000, thriving. Another key is automating good choices. Set auto transfers to savings or debt payments to outsmart impulses. Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. His systems built wealth. I automate $50 savings weekly, it's $20,000 now, funding books. Anna automated $25, it's $3,000, her safety net. Also, reframe wealth as freedom. Focus on security, not status, ignore society's flash. Desmond Tutu said, true wealth is in connection. His joy reconciled nations. I prioritize needs over trends, my peace grows, my talks shine. I coached a client named Mark, a salesman chasing gadgets. Tutu's wisdom led him to save, he bought a home, mentoring others. Finally, anchor to purpose. Your why, family impact, guides you past temptation. Viktor Frankl endured for meaning, saying, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but by lack of purpose. My why helping steers me. These habits, check-ins, automation, freedom, purpose, sustain resilience, building lasting security.
Those are such vibrant tools, Lauren. Orman's clarity, Franklin's systems, Frankl's purpose. It's a blueprint for freedom. As we close, what's one final piece of advice for listeners ready to overcome financial hardship today?
My biggest advice is to take one brave step now. Resilience begins with a single honest act toward your freedom. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who overcame poverty, saying, the best way to predict your future is to create it. For me, it was that first budget, a step that built a life I love. One last story. I coached a single dad named Brian, a driver $30,000 in debt, feeling hopeless. We looked at Oprah Winfrey, who said, turn your wounds into wisdom. Brian listed $100 monthly cuts, cable, dining. It grew. He paid $15,000, started a business, and teaches his kids saving, shining with hope. If Brian can rise, so can you. Take one step today, check a balance, save $1, ask for advice. That step builds a life of financial freedom.
What a beautiful way to wrap up, Lauren. Brian's story, alongside legends like Lincoln and Oprah, shows resilience is universal. Thank you for sharing such profound wisdom and practical steps. I know our listeners are ready to take charge.
Thank you, Emily, and to all the listeners. I hope you feel empowered to shape your financial future with courage.
And that's it for today's episode of Journey to Success. If this conversation lifted your spirits, and I'm certain it did, please hit that subscribe button to catch every empowering episode. Share this with someone ready to rise above, and join us next time for more insights to fuel your journey. Until then, keep overcoming financial hardship, one brave step at a time.